Hi, welcome everybody. This is Stretch and Chill with Annie. You can have a bolster and a blanket, but you don't have to have them. And then a couple blocks are very helpful. So why don't we start by laying down? Lay down onto your back. If you would like to extend your legs out straight, you can. If you want to keep your knees bent and your feet on the floor, also great. Just start to breathe deeply. Allowing each inhale to expand your rib cage. And constricting your throat a little as you exhale to lengthen it. Lengthen the breath out. Noticing if you feel any tight, constricted areas as you breathe. I actually have a rib out of place right now, and I only notice it when I do take really big inhales and some yoga poses also. And I keep thinking that it's going to fix itself, but it hasn't all week, and it's Thursday now, so I should probably do something about that. But notice if you feel any tight spots pulling. As you breathe, maybe allow your belly to rise and fall along with the expansion of the rib cage. If you start to feel anxious, don't breathe so deeply. Adjust where your chin is, where you are on the back of your head, so that it feels really comfortable. Tuck your shoulder blades under just a little bit. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Another full inhale. And let it go. Change your focus to your body on the mat. Notice where you're touching the mat, from your feet to your head and down your arms. Also pay attention to the spaces under your body where you're not touching the mat, like maybe your Achilles or your low back, behind your neck. My shoulders kind of roll up away from the floor, so towards the tips of my shoulders, they're not touching. Notice your clothes on your skin. Start with the bands of your ankles or shorts, wherever the seam is, the hemline, and then move up from there, your waist. Noticing your collar and the sleeves. Notice the air on your skin, the temperature of the room. If a fan is blowing on you. Change your focus now to the sounds in the room and around, outside of the room, outside of your space in your home. Clock, music, traffic, birds, any other sounds that you hear, the hum in the walls. Notice how when you changed your focus, you stopped breathing deeply. Come back to your breath. Take a nice deep inhale, a full body stretch. Reach your arms up overhead. Extend your legs out onto the mat, inhaling. And then exhale, let that go. Open your arms out like a T. Bend your knees, put your feet back on the floor, and start to windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Adding a little stretch to this by pressing. So when my knees go to the right, I'm going to press my left foot into the floor so I can get a little stretch, lifting that left hip up higher, keeping my shoulders down. And then when I switch sides and my knees go to the left, I'm going to use my right foot to push into the floor to lift that right hip a little higher. Go back and forth a couple more times. And then drawing your knees in, either hold onto your shins or behind your knees. Use your arms for a little bit more leverage to pull the knees in and rock side to side. Letting go of your knees, put your feet on the floor. Resting your arms wherever. Lifting your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Try to extend your knee straight so you get a little stretch in the hamstring and your calf. And then take your foot around your ankle in big circles, but slowly, feeling the stretch in your inner and outer calf and shin and the front of your foot, the top of your foot, inner ankle and outer ankle. Keep your breath long and even. Crossing your right ankle over that left quad. Don't lift your left foot up quite yet. Keep it on the floor. Without using your hands, just move that right knee away from your face until you feel a little stretch in your hip. If you like it, stay there. If you would like to bring your left knee in now, you can. Either hold on with your hands or just use your ab muscles to keep that left knee in. And breathe. Putting your left foot down. Extend your right leg back up towards the ceiling. Point your foot again to stretch your shin and the top of your foot. Float that right leg all the way down to the floor. Bringing your left knee in, take it across the body all the way over to the right. Use your right hand to guide that left knee down towards the floor. Maybe your left shoulder lifts off the floor, maybe it doesn't. Mine does a lot. And then really reach that left arm out to the left. Turn your head to the left a little bit more than normal for a stretch in the neck. Open your palms, separate your fingers. Turn your palm to the floor and really reach it out, maybe on the diagonal away from your left knee. And then keeping that palm open and fingers spread wide, turn your palm to the ceiling and reach that arm same direction on the diagonal. Take a full inhale. Take that left hand into a fist, and then keeping your back of your hand, the wrists on the floor, just pull your fingers in towards your forearm. Open your hand again, turn your palm down to the floor, and roll onto your back. Put your feet on the floor, and windshield wiper your knees back and forth. I like to do windshield wipers after a long twist because I just want to feel even again. That's why I do that. Okay, bringing your knees back to neutral, feet on the floor. Take your arms by your sides, down by your sides. Scoot your heels in a little closer toward your butt. Starting from your rear end, your sacrum, you're going to press your low back into the floor like you're trying to round, and then lifting up. Take your rear end away from the floor, just rolling up all the way towards your neck. Push your arms down for a little bit of support, and then you're just going to roll back down. Imagine that you can actually touch each vertebrae to the floor one at a time. I can't do that. That's not a real thing, but imagine it. And then when your butt hits the floor again, arch your mid-back away from the floor like you're making a rainbow with your spine, and then press it back down. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So press your low back into the floor, lifting from your sacrum up towards your shoulders. And it doesn't matter how far you go, just rolling back down, trying to tuck your pelvis so your low back hits before your sacrum. And then arching, make a rainbow. Last time, push your low back down, lifting from sacrum to cervical spine, and then lower down and make a little rainbow and stop. Take 1 moment to find your anchor, breath, touch, or sound, just like we did at the beginning. Extending your left leg up towards the ceiling, try to straighten your knee. Notice how this stretch feels in the back of the leg. Moving your ankle in big circles and paying attention to that as well. The shin, front of the foot, sides, the ankles, calf. Breathing deeply. And crossing that ankle over that right quad. Before you lift your right foot, move your left knee away from your face and just notice what that feels like in your hip. You know, my goal for you is to pay attention. Just to pay attention. Notice if the right side and the left side are different. If you have any places in your body that are specifically tight or sore or stuck. My advice to everybody that has a problem spot is to roll it out. Like get a foam roller or like the PT ball that I have and roll that specific muscle or tendon out. It's so helpful. And then you can kind of get past that stuck point. If you want to bring your right knee in, go for it. Hopefully you already have. I'm just talking away here. But maybe you'll take a tidbit of what I say and apply it one day when you're like, ooh, my back hurts. Maybe I should foam roll it out. I think everybody should own a foam roller and tennis balls. The PT ball that I have here at the studio, I'd say it's, I can palm it, so I know it's not a basketball size. It's solid all the way through, and it's fantastic. I ordered it on Amazon. I think it was $18, and I think that everybody should own one. Placing your right foot down onto the floor, lift that left leg back up, point your foot, take that leg all the way down to the ground, bring your right knee in, guide it to the left, cross the body, use your left hand to pull that knee down, maybe all the way to the floor. I like to go all the way to the floor with my knee so that I can really get a stretch through my shoulder. So sweep your right arm way out to the right, using your left hand for some leverage on that right knee to hold it down. With your right arm reaching way out to the right, turn your head a little bit more than normal so you get a little stretch. Separate your fingers. Turn your right palm to the floor. And so when you're reaching back like this and turning your palm down, you're internally rotating your shoulder. So internally rotate a little bit more for some more stretch in the forearm and the bicep. And then just turn your palm to the ceiling. That's externally rotated. Reach your arm on the diagonal if it's okay with the shoulder. Breathing. Take your hand into a fist, squeeze your fingers into your palm, and then squeeze your fingers in towards your forearm. I think we don't really think about our forearms and biceps and stretching them, and it's kind of hard to do, but this is a great way to get to it. Open your palm again. Turn your palm to the floor, and then roll to your back. Draw your knees in, or windshield wiper your knees back and forth. So you could draw them in and squeeze them in and rock side to side, or do a windshield wiper, especially to the right, because we just twisted for a while to the left. Either rock and roll forward and back, or roll to your side and come to a seated position. Take your favorite seated position. I am going to sit on my bolster today, but you could sit on your blanket or your blocks. I like this one also. So taking the blocks like this shape, if you can see that. And then making them like a V on the mat so that when you sit on them, they follow your quads and crisscross applesauce. I like this one too. It's okay. My ankles feel like they're rolling whenever I sit like this. So sit up tall. Drop your shoulders down, like walk them down. Take your right ear over to the right shoulder. Chin to chest, but still sitting tall so that you feel a stretch in your neck extensors. That's the back of the neck from your cranium down on either side of your spine. And then over to the left. Bring your chin back down towards your chest and go back around again. Whenever I do this, I think, oh, wish I had a massage right now. Do you guys think that? Like if someone could just like come up behind me and just like rub that spot out, that would be the best. Sometimes I joke in class, now we're all gonna sit in a train, one behind the other, and give each other a neck rub, and people are like, okay. And I was like, oh, I'm just kidding. Oh, I thought we were really gonna do that. I love doing that. And I would really love to do that. It's just we're so close to each other and like COVID and like touching and stuff. But I don't care, I wouldn't mind. Okay, bring your head back up to neutral. Sweep your arms up in a big circle, take an inhale. Stretching up. Bring your hands down to heart center. Interlace your fingers. You're going to turn your palms out so you can stretch your fingers. Round your back, press your back ribs back. Tuck your chin a little and stretch your arms forward. And then as you come out of this, gracefully, however you get there, reach your arms up with your hands turned out. Letting go. Take your hands down and behind your back. Interlace your fingers, tucking your chin. And if you can pull your hands away from your back, do that. And if you would like to add rounding in, rounding the back and tucking the chin in is what I meant to say. And then lifting back up. Letting go. Shake your arms out. Taking your right elbow under your left. I gotta adjust my seat. Just a second. Okay, that's better. Taking your right elbow under your left into eagle arms or shoulders. I want you to pull your elbows down until you feel a stretch in your upper traps. Your traps are really big. They go all the way from your cranium down across to each shoulder, all the way down to like the thoracic spine, if you know where that's at. Think like bottom of the rib cage on each side and all the way back up. So they make like a big triangle. So when we do eagle, it stretches the upper traps and rhomboids. Letting go. Shake your arms out. Reach up again. Take an inhale. Let your head drop back. Slide your hands down to heart center. Interlace your fingers. Stop. Notice which finger your right pointer finger is closest to you. Now switch. So the other one. So go the weird way. Again, turn your fingers out. Turn your palms out. Round your back. Tuck your chin. Press your arms forward and your back ribs back. Take a big stretch. Lifting up and reach up. Let go. Arms are going to go down and around behind you again. Interlace your fingers, but then stop. Switch the way they're interlaced because that's just good for your brain. And then maybe lift away. You can fold or not. Come back up. Let go. Shake your arms out. We're going to go left under right arm. Left under right arm, grabbing shoulders or hands into eagle arms. This is called eagle because this is your golden beak. Golden beak. Rounding if you'd like. You can also tuck your chin. And then coming back up, let go. Rolling forward to hands and knees. Into tabletop. We're just going to do a few rounds of cat-cow. So make your way there. And if you want to use your blanket under your knees, I love that. I love it. Feels good. So move with your own breath and at your own pace. Cat-cow. I like to stretch my throat when I do cow, make like a kissy face or like a fishy face. If you would like to add child's pose, press yourself back. moving between cat, cow, and child's pose is nice for some dynamic movement. Lowering down to your elbows. I don't know if you guys do down dog. I know you don't do down dog in this class, but maybe a dolphin, just for a calf stretch. So interlace your fingers, make sure your elbows are right under your shoulders, and then lift your knees. And we're just gonna walk out our dolphin, just for a few breaths. Stretching the calves. Don't worry if your head's getting lower to the floor. For 3, 2, and we're going to bring those knees right back down to the ground. Press up to your hands. Grab your blocks. Place them medium height-ish in your hands, so medium, not high, not low. Step your right foot forward and then scooch it forward so that it is between the blocks. This is why I really like the blanket under my knees for poses like this. Let that left hip flexor sink forward until you feel a stretch in the front of the left hip. And you can adjust your blocks, you can get rid of them. You can put your elbows up to your knee. Do you guys feel that in your hip flexor right here? Yeah? Okay. Who sits at a desk all day? Todd. Yes. This is the good one for you. Hip flexor. Do you sit at a desk all day? No, me neither. I try not to sit. If I had a desk, I would have it standing. I do. It's called the kitchen counter. Okay, we're going to switch legs. So switching, put the right knee down, bring your left foot forward, scooch it forward enough so that when you sink forward, you have a nice support foot under knee. And then notice how this side feels, front of the hip. So your hip flexor is the thing that the muscle group that when you go upstairs, it pulls the knee up. It brings you into child's pose, or like protects you if you're like in a fight, like curling into a ball. It's the fight or flight or freeze group of muscles that you're stretching right now. So as major, minor, and the iliacus. And you can stretch it, but that's not how you release it. Releasing takes time and chilling, like literally with your knees bent and your hips bent. So like feet up, lit calves on a couch. All right, coming out of that, put your hands on your blocks. You're gonna step your right foot to your left. Stepping up, right foot towards your left foot. Lifting your gaze, bring your head above your heart, lengthen your spine, and then make your way to standing. So here we are standing. Step to the side or step to the long end of the mat. It doesn't matter which way you face. Just step to the side so that you're facing the long end of your mat. Take your feet wide. We're literally just gonna fold and grab opposite elbows and just hang over for a moment. So folding forward. If you want to put your hands on the floor, just know that whatever I say, I use all the terms loosely, okay? Hands to the floor, grabbing opposite elbows, take your feet wide, just loosely, loose terms here. Take another deep inhale. And exhale. Lifting up a little bit, put your hands on the mat or the floor, and we're going to come down again to our knees, coming down to a seated position, and it doesn't matter which way you face. Bringing the soles of the feet to touch so you can sit facing the long end or the short end. Ow. For Baddha Konasana, you can fold with a straight spine, you can fold with a rounded spine, you can sit up and just tuck your chin into your chest, Jalandhara Bandha. It doesn't matter. We're just going to fold. However you want to fold here. Rounding, straight. Keep breathing evenly. If you like some of these stretches, and I know I'm probably going really fast for a normal stretch and chill class, it's probably a lot less poses than this. Technically, medically speaking, 50 seconds is about the max time you need to hold a stretch to get the most benefit from it. You can hold stretches longer, don't get me wrong. But 50 seconds every day is all you need for like the maximum stretch. If you hold things for a really long time, let's say 3 or 4 minutes, maximum stretching, your muscles will actually say no, thank you, and fight against you, and your fascia around the muscle will actually like grip tighter and make you less flexible. And you may end up hurting the most important things, which ligaments and tendons attach to bone and other muscles, and they don't stretch. You can't stretch ligaments and tendons. They're supposed to be supple, but they don't give like muscles. And so if you hold a maximum stretch for a really long time, you end up tearing those things, and then that's called physical therapy. So lifting up or surgery. Okay. Bending your right knee in front of you, we're going to do regular old pigeon. So taking that left leg back, folding forward if you want to. Breathing deeply. Pressing yourself up, switching sides. Take that right leg back and the left leg forward. This pose that we do that we call pigeon, it's actually not, just to let you know. This is a version of king pigeon, one leg king pigeon. The full pose I can't do. I can't do pigeon anymore either, the real thing. This pose, you sit up and your hips are neutral, and then you reach up with both arms and you grab your back foot and you put it to your head. So this pose is something that the pigeon that we think of as pigeon is something that we've kind of morphed real pigeon into because nobody can do the real thing. King pigeon. No one could do the real king pigeon. Some people can, and the people that do it, they're like, what? So easy. I just pull my foot to my head and I just do it. Real pigeon is a back bend. You start from your knees and then you fall back to your head. You reach up and over and you grab both feet. Does that make sense to you guys? So you start kneeling, both knees on the floor, and then you fall back to your head and you grab your feet with both hands. Can you imagine it? No? Me neither. All right, press yourself up. Sweep that right leg around in front and your left leg around in front. I like using blocks for this, but you could use a rolled up blanket. You're going to take your blocks or your blanket and you're going to put it under your knees so that your knees are not straight. Now, since we're all using blocks in here, blocks are super fancy and amazing, and someone thought, oh, what a good idea, let's put edges on them or cut the edges off. I want you to take your blocks and lift your knees a little bit and just tip them on their edge toward you, so the flat edge is toward your hamstrings. And it's a little bit more comfortable. Ta-da! Pro tip number 1 for the day. Okay, folding forward, doesn't matter what your arms do. You can let them hang, you could cross them over your shins, you could put them down by your sides, you grab your feet. On purpose, I want you to tuck your chin a lot. It doesn't matter how far you fold, it's not the point. Tuck your chin with a lot of effort. Bring your chin in toward your chest. Press your back ribs out, back behind you. Breathe into your back ribs. Rolling up. Now, Marilyn, I don't know if you have a bolster at home. If you do, grab it. If not, you can use a pillow or your blocks. We're going to take the bolster and place it like so. Long way on the mat, except I'll move the blanket out of the way. If you'll notice, it's not close to my butt. It's not. This might be a little too far away, but not close. As you lay back, I do not want you to feel like you're in a back bend. The bolster should hit you like at your T12. If you're not sure what that is, think of like your rib cage and the bottom of it. If you just take your hands and slide down to the bottom of your rib cage, that's where your T12 is. So if you just like take your thumbs back together, that's approximately maybe 1 higher. That's where I want the bolster to hit. All right. As you lay back, you're just going to, oh, yep, right there, adjust it, and then lay back. Same with the blocks, Marilyn, this will be the same thing with the blocks. You want the block to hit at your T12 and higher, but not so high that you feel like, this is dumb, why am I doing this? That's what I would feel. Opening your arms out like a T, you're just gonna let your arms hang open for a pec stretch and a shoulder stretch. Adjust your arms higher or lower on the floor. I mean, like lower towards your feet or more up like a V as needed for the stretch and for comfort. I have my legs extended out straight, but I might want to do crisscross applesauce or take them into Baddha Konasana, which is like feet together, knees apart. Maybe. Or maybe just tent my knees, put my feet on the floor and knees together. I don't know. Trying different things today to see how it feels. I guess out straight is my favorite. So no matter what pose you're in, you can keep experimenting until you find like the perfect spot for you. Know that you don't have to do what I say, ever. I'm just here to suggest things. Bringing your hands up around behind your head. So interlace your fingers and then rest your head back down. Draw your elbows up to point towards the ceiling. I want you to use your arms to bring your chin into your chest. Don't use your head, your neck muscles, your head muscles. Don't use your neck muscles. Use your arms and your stomach muscles. And then let go. You'll be looking down towards your feet. Put an elbow down and roll to the side. You're just going to slide your bolster over. Oh, grab a block while you're there. And lay back down. Bend your knees, put your feet on the floor. Take that block, slide it under your sacrum. Low, medium, or high. Or skip it and just have your sacrum on the floor. Sliding your right leg out. Keep your foot on the floor. Reach your left arm, right arm up overhead and just let your right arm rest on the ground. If you're thinking to yourself, I don't really like this hurts or it's a bad idea, I would suggest not doing this and just keeping your feet flat on the floor. If you're up for an experiment, I am too, taking your right hand back down by your side, with your right leg still extended out straight and resting on the ground, take your right middle finger, first finger, and place it in your belly button. Walk your fingertips to the right about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And then push down. And like you're rubbing out a muscle, back and forth. You're going to push down and then rub back and forth. Now, you could be moving food around, but if it feels tender, that's your psoas, okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe your psoas isn't tight or you're not in the right spot. It's real close to the belly button, real close. Oh my God, mine is so tight. I can't even describe it. If you want to move your fingers down a little bit towards your leg, just a little bit, your psoas runs from about your belly button a little bit higher on either side of the spine, straight down over your pelvic bowl and attaches to your femur. Let's try the other side. Bend that knee, put your right foot on the floor, slide your left leg out straight. You guys probably think I'm crazy. Reach your left arm up overhead, just take a stretch first. You can text me later about how crazy I am. Do we really need to find our psoas today? I said yes. Why not? Bring your left arm down by your side with your left leg extended. You're going to take your left first finger and middle finger and put it in your belly button and push down a little. Walk your fingertips to the left just a little until you're like, oh, there it is. Ow. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's mine. You may feel nothing. Mine is like really tight. I would never, ever suggest ever to go get a massage and have somebody massage your psoas. I think you might vomit or, get hurt because they're pushing down into your intestines and they don't know what they're feeling. It makes my face hurt. You can go towards your femur. Keep in mind that your large intestines that you're going towards. And if you found it, good. And if you don't know, we can talk about it later. You can text me and be like, I can't find it. I can help you. Okay, letting go, stop doing that. And bend your knee, put your foot on the floor. Lift your rear end away from the block and lower down. Draw your knees in toward your chest. Rock a little side to side. Roll yourself up to seated. Ooh, okay. Grab your blanket. You're going to make it this big. Just unfold it once. And then you're going to put it under you. Like that. And you're going to sit back down onto it. Take out all the wrinkles. Smooth it out. Grab a block as you lay back down. What I'm really looking for is from your sacrum to your shoulders to be on the blanket. That's it. Okay. Laying down. So your back of your head is off of the blanket. Take your block, medium height. Take it down behind your head, flat on the floor, so it's medium height, not low, not low. And then sliding it on the floor, lift your head, keep it flat on the floor as you slide it under your head. And then your chin will be tucked. And then not too far back. I want you to pull it in closer so it's actually like jabbing into your neck muscles. So slide it in closer. And then relax back down again. Close your eyes. And it's going to be pushing into those neck extensors. Roll your head back and forth. So this is like our neck massage that we didn't sit in a train for. And you're just going to roll your head back and forth. And you can adjust the block forward or back. This doesn't work on the lowest setting, and you can't make it the highest setting because you won't be able to slide it under your head. But you want the edge of the foam block pushing into your neck extensors. And just slowly rolling back and forth. This is supposed to give us better proprioception, where we are in space, where our body parts are in space. One more time in each direction, slowing down. Removing the block slowly. Lower your head to the floor. Turning your head left to right, just on the floor now, rolling on the back of your head. Coming back to neutral. If you would like to do some windshield wipers or another stretch of any sort that you just love and I skipped, go for it. before you go into Shavasana, I want you to reach for your bolster. I want you to keep the blanket under your sacrum. And I want you to take that bolster and slide it under your calves and your knees so that your feet are off the floor and you have a little bit of a hip crease. So at home, you could use like a chair or couch cushion, or at least bend your knees and put your feet on the floor. A coffee table would work well. And then you're going to tuck your pelvis just a little bit more so your back is not as neutral as it usually is. And you can open your arms like a T or keep them by your side. Interlace your fingers over your chest or stomach. Come back to your anchor. Just take some full inhales and exhales. Close your eyes. I'm going to read to you guys from Meditations from the Mat. This is Daily Reflections on the Path of Yoga by Rolf Gates and Katrina Kennison. Day 151. Helen Keller said, "I thank God for my handicaps, for through them I have found myself, my work, and my God." I am coming to believe that the aim of a spiritual practice in our time is maturity. All of the workshops, all of the hours on the mat or the cushion, all of the study and reflection and effort appear to be devoted to growing up, in the true sense of the word. We want to be dependable and wise, loving and brave. We want to abide calmly, see clearly, and be of service. It is though we are all working really hard to become good grandparents. And why not? What Helen Keller is saying here is that she grew up. She no longer struggled against the world. Instead, she used what she had and found peace and effectiveness. Choose a handicap in your practice and experiment with embracing it as Helen Keller embraced her own. Experience all of it, the resistance, the fear, the pain, and the possibility of growth. Experiment with being grateful for your handicaps. And on that note, take a deep inhale and exhale. Start to move your fingers and toes and wrists and ankles. Take a big full body stretch. Reach your arms up overhead. You can use your feet to slide the bolster out and away. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. And squeeze them in. Rock a little side to side. And then roll to your right. Pause here for a moment. And then press up. And sit tall. Sweeping your arms up in a big circle, take an inhale. Press your palms together, slide them down to heart center, lower your chin slightly. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting me guide you. Thanks for going along with the flow and appeasing me, I guess. Loka hasamasta sukhi no bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. Namaste. Have a good day. Go out and just conquer all. Okay, so that's probably different than what you guys usually do. It's good for your brain, I'm sure. So Bridget, if you guys come on Fridays, she's moving to LA. She has 2 Fridays left, tomorrow and the next one, and she's going to be famous. So, you know, if you want to come to her classes tomorrow or the next Friday, then you could be like, I was in her yoga class. And then she's like super famous. Yep. And then, what else? Is that it? Is that all I got? I think so. I think so.